I have here a premium lens from Fujifilm, and I'm using this lens for over 2-3 years, something like this, on Fujifilm X-T5, on Fujifilm X-T50, on Fujifilm X Pro 3, on Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II. So I want to finally share my long-term review after using this lens for portraiture photography, for street photography, for night photography, for everyday photography. And I also use this lens on Fujifilm X-M5. So I have lots of experience with this lens, and I want to share with you my final review of Fujifilm XF 18mm WR. So let's talk about this now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. In this video I want to talk about one of the most premium lenses from Fujifilm and an expensive lens from Fujifilm that I bought brand new years ago, being pumped by this field of view, being pumped by the reviews regarding the sharpness of this lens, regarding the minimum focus of this lens, and also regarding the images of this lens. So what you can do with this lens. So I've used this lens years and years, and I want to share with you my discoveries regarding sharpness, regarding how this lens is acting on different Fujifilm bodies, on a 40 megapixel sensor, on a 26 megapixel sensor, and how it's balancing, and my ups and downs with this lens. So first of all, after these years, I still have ups and downs with this lens, especially regarding the size and the balancing with different Fujifilm cameras. I've used this lens, how I've said, on Fujifilm X-T50, on Fujifilm X-T5, on Fujifilm X-T3, on Fujifilm X-M5, and also on Fujifilm X Pro 3. Well, my first use of this lens on Fujifilm X-T5, it wasn't a pleasing one. So I was liking the results, and I wasn't liking the AF at that time with the firmware of X-T5, but in the meantime the AF of X-T5 got better, then it got worse again, then it got better again. But anyway, with X-T5 the package was pretty hard to take for everyday photography, because I didn't like at all how it was balancing. And next I bought Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II. On X-T30 Mark II, I was really loving how it was balancing, because X-T30 Mark II had a tilt screen, and I've added a thumb grip. And with the tilt screen and with the thumb grip, the package was pretty light in the camera bag, but overall I didn't felt very well the AF and the image quality. I felt that in low light I didn't like it as much as I was liking X-T5. So X-T5 with the better AF in low light, I felt that it was giving me better and sharper results. So anyway, it was an unbalanced package on Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, but not a bad one, I would say. Next, I used this lens on Fujifilm X Pro 3. And on Fujifilm X Pro 3, as I'm feeling right now in my hand, I feel that I get the best balance regarding the size of the kit, the weight of the kit, and also the balance of the kit. I've always said that X Pro 3, it's a little bit longer, and this is helping the camera to balance very, very well. So I feel that Fujifilm X Pro 3, it is the best body to balance these lenses. Also, this lens is balancing okay-ish on Fujifilm X-T50. Not very okay, not very okay, okay-ish. If you want a better balancing, I would advise add the small rig wooden grip. So with the small rig wooden grip, yes, the knuckles are hitting a little the lens, but overall it's a very okay balanced kit from my point of view, better than Fujifilm X-T5. So on a Fujifilm X-T50 with a grip or with a thumb grip, it will balance pretty okay, but I still give the first place to Fujifilm X Pro 3. Now the next Fujifilm camera that is balancing very well with 18mm f1.4, it is Fujifilm X-T3. Yes, with Fujifilm X-T3, the balance, it is very, very nice. So look here, Fujifilm XF 18mm f1.4 on Fujifilm X-T3. Very nice balancing, but the package, it's on the heavy side, not as heavy as X-T5, because it's a little bit wider, this body, and also it's a bit lighter, but anyway, the balancing, it's very okay. The next camera that I must address, and this lens, it's also not balanced, but I really love the weight. It is XM5 with 18mm f1.4. It's a totally unbalanced package, but it worked very, very well. So I was liking the results, I was liking the AF, and in the end I was really liking how I was able to maneuver it. So better AF than Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, and it was the lightest package. So overall, the best balance is with the older Fujifilm bodies like Fujifilm X-T3 and Fujifilm X Pro 3 for me, for myself. And on the first place, if you want to know the camera that I feel it is like a glove to these new WR lenses and especially to this 18mm f1.4, it is the Fujifilm X Pro 3 camera. So overall, this lens, it is pretty hard to pair it because regarding this weight and size, this is on the big side. It's on the big side. So I want to address now the portability factor of this lens. From my point of view, this isn't a lens dedicated to traveling, especially if you have a family and have lots of luggage on you. This is on the heavy side. This long lens, it will bump from different objects and so on. It's very unbalanced. It's very long and it's pretty hard to justify this lens as a travel lens, even if the quality and the focal length are good for traveling. So regarding traveling, unfortunately, I would not consider this a traveling lens for everybody. This is a lens to be taken with you in planned photography, being professional photography, wedding photography, event photography, and street photography, but planned street photography. It's not an everyday lens. You can incorporate it depending on your age, on your time, on your disposition to carry a pretty big package. The package, it is bigger than a Leica Q3. And even if it's at the same size in the end and probably at the same weight, not weighing all the grams, it's on the heavy side. And I'll address also the image quality a little bit later regarding the image quality of this lens and what you can do with this lens. But overall, yes, the package, it is premium, but unfortunately for an APS-C, for the size and image quality, for me it's pretty hard to justify. How I've said, after years, I still have a love and hate relationship with this lens. Now let me address a little the build quality of this lens. It seems that the build quality, it is very, very good. I've used this lens years and years. So the lens, it is fully metal build. You have a weather sealed lens. I didn't use it in rain and in snow because I wanted to protect it. Also, I have an UV filter to protect it, a Sigma UV filter. And also at the build quality part, I will address the aperture ring. I really don't like the aperture ring. It is too loosely. It's not like 27mm f2.8. You can really bump the aperture ring very, very easily. So it's not clear for me why Fujifilm did this. The best aperture rings from my point of view are made by Sigma lenses from Sony. And also Fujifilm with the 27mm f2.8 has a nice aperture ring. This isn't bad, but I don't know, I would have wanted more resistance. So overall, a good premium build quality that I love a lot, especially with a metal body like Fujifilm X Pro 3, like Fujifilm X-T3. So really love this metal feeling in the hand. It's giving you the mojo to shoot it, and especially I would say with X-T3 and X Pro 3. Now let me address the image quality of this lens. Is it so good as the reviewers showed and told us in the first reviews? From my point of view, you are able till now to see some pictures that I've made with this lens. For an APS-C lens, yes, it's a very, very good lens. It's a very sharp lens with very nice 3D pop, with a nice melted background for portraits. The portraits are popping at some given distance. So from boost to waist level and so on, full body, the portraits will not pop from my point of view. So this could be a problem or not, depending on what you want to achieve. With a full frame lens, with an 18mm f2, you will get better pop and better subject to background separation. And with a smaller lens like Sony 28mm f2. So unfortunately, if you are looking at this balance, it is pretty hard to justify the price, the size, and the quality of this lens. And also I will get to the AF part a little bit later because it's important. But regarding image quality, I don't know. I feel that the lens, it is special, it is rendering in a special way, but to get that rendering, to get that pop, to get that magic that this lens has in it, you really need to know what you are doing. So you really need to understand the lens and to understand the distances, to understand a little the light, the texture, and how this lens will help you make a subject that will pop. The tip here is get as close as possible, but also have in mind that in general, if you are pretty far and if you shoot a person from full body, then it will not pop too much. But at f1.4, if you'll get close, like boost shots and waist shots and head shots, yes, it will pop very nice, almost as a full frame 28mm lens. So regarding this image quality, it is very good. Also the lens, it is very good for landscape photography, and it's very good to shoot this lens at f8 and f11, and you have some micro contrast to the image. It's not a flat image, it's an image full of resolution. So yes, the lens, it is very, very full of resolution, sharpness, 3D pop for what it is. Again, hard to justify the price and the image quality. Again, when I'm thinking at image quality, yes, it's good, but also I'm putting in the balance the price, the size, and the weight. And we will see at the conclusion if the lens deserves the full price. Now, also at image quality, I would add the minimum focus distance of this lens. This lens, it's really shining at minimum focus distance, and yes, you can get some very interesting shots at minimum focus distance with this lens. So it's a very nice added bonus here, but also I would add that this lens, it's rendering nice, beautiful sunstars, not a Voigtlander sunstars, but pretty nice sunstars that I really like for street photography. Also, the colors are very good, the Fujifilm contrasty colors and the Fujifilm signature colors, and also this lens in black and white has very nice tonalities, also in bad light and also in night street photography. So in general, you'll not go wrong with this lens on the Fujifilm APS-C body regarding image quality. Of course, I would have wanted a little more, but this is it in the end for an AF lens. By the way, if you want to make better photos, you must know that it's not about the gear, it's about composition, it's about light, it's about seeing with your eyes and pre-visualizing the picture. So for this, I've recently launched a course with my techniques to get better pictures. So if you want to learn to make better pictures and especially composition, why not join my Photography Academy? To get access to my course, you must be subscribed to my channel and join my membership Photography Academy level. When you'll have that level, you'll have access to my street photography composition course, where I show you how I am making the pictures and where I teach you how to make the same picture. So I'm telling you why a picture is good and why it's working and why I've decided to keep it in color or to keep it in black. So you learn lots of tips and techniques if you are joining the membership program. And more than that, joining my membership, it means that any premium course that I will launch, you'll have access to it. So join now my TM Photography Academy by subscribing to my channel and hit the join button from YouTube. And now let's address the AF and the autofocus of this lens with different Fujifilm bodies. First of all, I'm really sorry that I can't say that you can rely on this lens with IAF, because you'll not get reliable IAF results with this lens. You'll get some eyes in the focus, but not very reliable. So I've tested this lens multiple times on X-T50, on XM5, on X-T5, and not all the pictures are in focus with IAF. So IAF, again, you'll get some results. Don't get me wrong, it's not like 100% missed shots, but I would say 80-70% depending. With my kids, I wasn't able to get nice IAF results, and it's not something that I can count on. Of course, for a portrait shoot when you aren't in a rush, you can get okayish IAF, and especially I would say with the 24 megapixel sensor, 26 megapixel sensor from Fujifilm that it's on the latest body, like Fujifilm XM5, like Fujifilm X-H2S. On the 40 megapixel sensor and on the older bodies, again, the IAF isn't reliable. So this lens, if you want reliable results, must be used with AF single point, especially for day-to-day photography, for street photography, and so on. Now, I also want to address this lens a little for video. So I've used this lens to film myself with X-T5, and I've got hunting with this lens. So yes, I really love the images that this lens is rendering in video, but with Fujifilm AF on X-T5, probably on XS20 or on XH2S, it is better. But on the 40 megapixel sensor, when I've used this lens years ago, the AF was hunting. So I didn't like it for this, and also it's possible that it will hunt on different Fujifilm bodies. So in conclusion, thinking about price, size, weight, and what you get, does this lens deserves the money? For me, I don't know what to say. I still don't know what to say. Now that I have this lens, I don't regret it. Would I buy it again knowing all this? Again, it's hard for me to say. I'm really loving a lot of pictures that I've got with this lens. The only thing that I regret is that I am not able to incorporate more this lens in my daily photography because of the size and weight. This is the problem. And I've tried, how I've said, many different Fujifilm bodies, especially for this lens, to be able to incorporate it in my daily photography, especially for the image quality. Now, there is a rumor that it is possible to launch a Fujifilm X-T40. And in Fujifilm X-T40, it will be a better XM5, so with the 26 megapixel sensor from XM5, with the AF speed and accuracy from XM5, then there is another discussion. It is possible that that body with this lens, it will be a very good match for daily photography. But overall, let's not trick ourselves too much. It's a hard lens to justify for daily photography regarding size and weight for the majority of the people, I would say. Again, some people will be able to incorporate it, and yes, you'll get similar results to a Leica Q3 or to a full frame 28mm lens, having the Fujifilm colors, having a tilt screen, and all what is good in Fujifilm system. So overall, a very interesting lens, metal build, weather sealed, so you are pretty packed with this lens, except price, size, and weight, it's not for everybody. Now, there is a budget lens that from my point of view, it's very close as the field of view and also as image quality, and especially I like this lens a lot because of the size and weight. So overall, I do recommend this lens if you are into Fujifilm lenses and want the best from Fujifilm, and if you think that you can incorporate this in your daily photography or for your event, wedding photography, professional photography, then this lens will not disappoint at all. But if you are on a budget, if you want a lighter package that I feel regarding image quality, it will not bring any compromise, let's be serious, for the majority of the people, then this little lens from Viltrox is very interesting. And for this lens, I've made several videos, and I invite you to check those videos and see my findings regarding this Viltrox lens versus Fujifilm 18mm f1.4. Please check those videos, leave me your comments, like this video, share this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.